this is over here.
Okay.
This is more high end. We don't practice real estate like that.
Okay.
So every door just turned me down. And it was just right when I was getting ready to quit my searches on the Strip. I looked up. It was almost like I was praying. I looked up, and then I saw a second floor real estate office. It looked abandoned. So I gave it a shot. The lights were off. I go up the stairs, and I see an old man at the back of the room.
Okay.
And I knock on the door, and I say, "Excuse me, sir, I'm interested in maybe you sponsoring me." He says, "Oh, kid, get out of here. I'm not interested in sponsoring anybody.
Couldn't even
I'm
finish
in the
your
middle of a
spiel.
bunch of lawsuits. No, I'm not going to teach you anything. I'm not interested. Sir, please hear me out." He goes, "All right, I'll listen to you." So I told him about what I needed. I said, "I'm self-contained. I don't need any help." He said, "All right."
Okay.
All right. He said, "Well, then here's the deal." He said, "If you want to do this, it's 50-50. I said, "Yeah, that's industry standard, 50-50.
Right.
But no, he says, "No, 50-50. You pay 50% of the rent, 50% of the bills, 50% of the utilities."
Wow.
And he goes, "Across the board. That's what
50-50.
you want." And I said, "I'll take it." I needed my foot in the door.
Right.
I needed my foot in the door. So I quickly developed a team. I learned how to recruit individuals and influence people in a positive way to get real estate minded and get licensed.
Okay.
I referred them to the school that I went to and showed them how I got my start, and they were following in my footsteps. So I developed a nice little team there.
I saw the video. I went to the same school.
Oh, you did?
The first time around.
Wow.
Over 86th Street.
86th Street, yeah.
I said, "Oh my God, what is it, Cosma here?"
That's
And when
funny.
I saw it, I said, because the first time I did it also,
Yes.
that's where I went.
Right.
But, because of my son, a lot of people know my son was born with autism. So, I took some time off and I let the license expire. But it was the same school.
Wow,
And, I
yeah.
think they did a great job.
They do a
One
great
week
job.
they did a
They're an
great
excellent
job.
school. Excellent school.
So your friends saw that you were doing well.
They
Because
saw I
most
was
people say,
doing-
"I don't know, Anthony."
Yeah, no, I mean, I was
know."
always honest. I showed them my checks, and I showed them
Okay.
how it was rolling, and they liked it. They liked the freedom, the quality of life you
Yeah.
can get from doing real estate, and the contacts and connections you can make in the
Exactly.
industry. So I built a nice team, and I remember there was a period of 6 months after we started really making some major dent in the market. They started selling expensive brownstones, because I capitalized on something that nobody knew. My father used to walk around with the parrot
Right.
all day in Brooklyn Heights before he used to go to Little League. So I used to go and knock on the door and say, "May I get your listing?" They say, "Who are you?" "I'm the guy who walked around the neighborhood with the bird's son."
So they remember.
I remembered. I said, "I'm the little chubby kid wearing the sailor hat." And, that was my in. That was my
Okay.
brand, so to speak. back
Hey,
then.
whatever gets your foot in the
Whatever-
door.
Whatever got my foot in the door. So I was able to secure exclusives with opera singers and actors.
Wow.
And some of these, elite
Elite
individuals.
individuals.
And make some real big sales. So
Okay.
there was 6 months, I remember, I didn't pay for lunch or dinner because all the brokers that turned me down were now courting me. And they wanted me and my team that I built to leave and then go work for
Isn't that a great feeling,
them. It
though?
was a great feeling. It really was a great feeling.
It gives you that feeling like, finally,
Yes.
I came to you, you turned me down, now you're coming to me. And it has to be that ultimate.
Oh, yeah.
Aw.
It was. But it was short-lived.
Okay.
Because what ended up happening was when I first met the broker, he had mentioned that he was in the middle of a few lawsuits. He had a
Lawsuits.
partner, and so he lost all of them.
Wow.
So he stopped paying commissions. He started keeping them. And then slowly but surely, all the agents that I had built started dying off because
Because
they
they're
weren't getting paid.
Right.
And I thought he'd never do that to me. I was his golden goose. I was his best performer, paying half the expenses.
When push comes to shove,
Push comes
they
to
will
shove,
shove you under the
that's
truck.
it,
He shoved you under the bus.
Yeah, he
Anthony.
shoved me under the bus real good. So, I said, I can pick up, no problem. I was offered a great deal with one of the competing brokers that was courting me for a while that I
Now,
kept turning down.
What was the time span in between that? Was it a time span?
It happened so quickly. I mean, it
Okay.
was just like really months into, once he stopped paying, that was it.
Okay.
But I had always been getting solicited by these brokers.
Okay.
So I was about to take that deal, and my mom stepped in. She says, "Listen, why are you going to, put your heart and soul into another organization that could close down or could maybe rip you off again?"
True.
She says, "Why don't you start your own thing? You built that thing on your own anyway. He didn't teach you anything." It's true, he didn't teach me anything.
Just gave you a desk.
That's it. Desk and a phone that I had to pay for. So it was like, okay. I said, "You know what, Ma, you're right. Let me see what I can do." So I was looking for commercial spaces in Brooklyn Heights. And back then, they were very expensive. They still are
They
today.
still are now.
So
Brooklyn
I was
Heights, but
looking at, yeah, forget it. I was looking at spaces that were $3,000, $4,000 a month.
Right.
And I was getting ready to do a deal. She says, Anthony, $4,000 a month, you can pay a mortgage.
Yes, you could.
You know?
Even cheaper back
Yeah,
then.
even cheaper back then. She says, you're saying everything is internet-based now. You really don't like walk-in traffic, because I used to complain about it all the time.
Okay.
People would walk in, they would want to say, hey, let's see what Brooklyn Heights apartments look like today.
Okay.
So they weren't really serious. So,
Right.
she says, why don't you just see if you can find a building with a commercial space? Driving down the avenue, thinking about what she's saying, I'm at a red light, and I
Okay.
see a pastor putting a for sale sign. He's on a ladder putting a for sale sign on a building.
Divine kismet.
Yeah.
Just
It was
perfect.
just- it was interesting. So my natural paparazzi-like instincts in real estate is to get out the car, go out and get the listing.
Okay.
It's for sale by owner. They call it FSBO. in the Israel.
Fistbowls.
So I get out, I talk to him. He's still on the ladder. He comes down. He gives me a tour. And the place has got a church on the ground floor. It's got a pew. It's got the red carpet, the whole 9 yards.
It had a
It's
pew?
interesting. Yeah, it had pews, everything.
Wow.
Second floor was a school for, I guess the church had
church
the school.
definitely.
And then the
Okay.
third floor was a 4-bedroom apartment.
Oh,
So
okay.
the whole place was going to be delivered vacant. He gave me
Wow.
a nice tour. And
Just
then it
great.
just dawned on me. I called my mom. I called my dad. I said, the place is further out. It's not, Park Slope or Brooklyn Heights. It's in an area that could be called Park Slope South in the future.
But back then, yeah.
Back
which
then
is-
it was pretty bad. So I said, but, it's an opportunity. And I think I might want to take it. I think we can do something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was going to be my first purchase. I had saved all my money.
Okay.
So they came down, they saw it, and we took it.
You took it?
And I took it. Yeah.
And you know what people don't realize too, and which is what I love about being an inside as far as real estate goes. A lot of people who don't have that mindset, they wait till the place is there.
Yeah.
And what you realize is, once it's there, it's too late.
Yes.
And basically, you really got that great because little did you know they would rezone it to make that Park Slope as well.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
when money talks, they
Yep.
will redesign and
Exactly.
and now you are in Park Slope
Yep,
South.
yep.
And I'm sure at the price you bought it then, you couldn't even get it now
No, no way.
for that
No
price.
way. Yeah,
So
those
it was
doesn't
just
exist.
perfect intervention and
It
timing.
was perfect timing. But that was also short-lived because I, spent all my money on it. It was a mixed use, so I didn't know that the financing was different. You had to put 30% down. I didn't have much many tax returns because I just started in my career, so the banks weren't that favorable in terms of lending money. So I had to take a big interest rate, a big down payment. So I was broke after.
So you were
I was a homeowner,
so you had great,
but I was
you're a
broke.
homeowner and a
Exactly.
potential real estate mogul,
Yes.
but you're broke.
I'm broke, so I had to really hustle to, renovate the building at least modestly so that
Okay.
I can turn it into a real estate office that people would want to work for. But it was challenging because when I would interview folks to come work for me, it was like they were interviewing me. They were saying, "Well, how can you make me successful if you're not even successful?" Because the office really wasn't really nice.
Okay.
So
basically, they look at it like, well, look,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
you
small
ain't
mom
there,
and pop. Yeah. So I knew I had my work cut out ahead of me. I had to do what I did best, which was practice real estate, rent, sell, and make some money.
You had to go to school. So
I
you had to
go
basically
school.
go back
I
again.
had to go back to my roots, but from my office.
Okay.
And work, and then spruce it up a bit so that I could interview people, and they would want to work for me.
Okay.
So.
Oh my God, they're giving us a 2-minute wrap up. Well, don't go anywhere because you know what? The story will continue next week. So we still have 2 minutes, but I just want to let you know the story. So don't go anywhere because this is so fascinating. And what I love is, despite all the obstacles that so far we've encountered, you still kept trotting away. And I want to, besides the story about your mom, I also want to know what else kept you propelling. Because there's your mom, but then even with that, there's still more that keeps you going. And what was also the drive? Did you?
Well, the drive was seeing myself inching towards my goals.
Okay.
The closer you get to your goals, the more it seems attainable.
Oh, and with that, give a quick 10-second tip at the end of this, for people who are interested in real estate and want to do it. Give a quick 10-15 seconds.
Well, the best tip I can say is surround yourself around success and positivity. And, of course, go to AnthonyLolli.com if you want to see everything that's out there and measure your success accordingly.
AnthonyLolli.com. That's AnthonyLolli.com. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Don't even move. Sit in your seat for a whole week. Just kidding. Make sure you tune in next week for the continuing story of this amazing man who's doing great things and probably will help you become the millionaire you want to be. See you next week, guys. Have a good week.